Fortnite does not feel the same anymore, and recently it feels like Epic Games wants you to know that. The community has questioned several decisions made to Fortnite over the course of the last few weeks, and I've even found myself disagreeing with a few that were made. In the midst of all this frustration, there's a lot of noise in the community from differing perspectives. On one hand, you've got a group that thinks Fortnite is ruined, it's nothing like it used to be, Epic is just trying to destroy their own game, and they hate the community. While on the other hand, you have people saying that the game is fine, there is no core identity to Fortnite, and people that say that there is are just people that want Fortnite to stay in this constricted OG box forever. Spoiler alert, you're both wrong, and this is the part of the video where I irritate both groups of people at the same time. First, let's start with a group of people that think that Fortnite's burning down to the ground while Epic Games has the lighter in their hand. The new modes do not take away from the experience of BR. Collabs do not ruin BR, bad item shops do not ruin BR. Although I don't agree with the rarity change to cosmetics, I don't think that it has an effect on BR or the game as a whole, and quite frankly, cosmetic rarity has never made any sense. Creative isn't killing Fortnite. Fortnite should not have replaced the seasonal mythics for the avatar ones, but on the bright side, the seasonal mythics will be back soon. The new UI does suck, but it's not bad enough to make me want to stop playing Fortnite. Item shops can be terrible, and some of the recent ones we have been repetitive, but over time, they will eventually get better, and some of the ones that we've had recently have been good. Ultimately, you can keep all the new modes and features while still respecting the old aspects of Fortnite. The issue is that when you put a lot of these changes all together, it shows a clear direction of where Fortnite is headed, and quite frankly, it's a place that the community doesn't really want Fortnite to be taken. Not to mention, it alienates a lot of the old player base, and this is where the people in the other camp are going to get upset with me. I've heard people from this camp say identity isn't important and it's just a weak argument thrown out by people who want Fortnite to stay in the past. It's people that only look at Fortnite with nostalgia goggles. Ironically, this argument is thrown around by people that have no understanding of business whatsoever, and what's doubly ironic is this is something that both camps of people share in common. But it begs the question, why is identity important? Any successful business knows that once a brand is established, familiarity is important. People need to be able to recognize and identify with your product anytime they see it, but they also need to be provided with a sense of comfort when interacting with your brand. That sense of comfort comes from the thing that people were initially drawn to you for in the first place, and this is what keeps people coming back. Let's take McDonald's for example. Why is it that in every country you find a McDonald's, there's always some version of the Big Mac available? Familiarity. Why is the French fry recipe consistent among all locations? Familiarity. I can say the same thing about other successful long-running IPs, Superman, Marvel, Transformers. When people interact with your brand, there needs to be something familiar with it, a core baseline that does not get touched. That doesn't mean that a brand can't evolve or change certain aspects over time, but there needs to be a core identity that is present and consistent. That way the old and new fans alike have common ground. Not to mention, if old fans come back after being gone for a while, they can appreciate all the new changes while not feeling alienated because they have something familiar to latch onto. I can't say that Fortnite has done this well. The fans of Fortnite that played during the classic era, that being the first 2 chapters of Fortnite, had a completely different experience from the people that started midway through Chapter 3. This is because Epic had been experimenting with what is most important to Fortnite without remembering why we came here initially. There needs to be a familiar feeling when loading into Fortnite while also presenting new ideas that elevate the game in a new way. The new modes are great to have in Fortnite, but we know the real reason why everyone comes, which is the BR. The other modes don't take away from the BR experience, and this season proved that. We have gotten the most consistent updates we've had in a season since probably Chapter 3 Season 4, almost a new update every week. Some unique item or weapon was given to us to spice up the meta in some unique or significant way. Rocket Racing, LEGO, and Fortnite Festival do not prevent that from happening. The issues that we have in Battle Royale and the things that we want changed in it aren't impacted by the existence of the other modes. They have their own teams developing and working on them at all times. BR is a completely separate team. Now, this way you're probably wondering, well, Clark, if the new modes aren't taking anything away from Fortnite, what is? What is wrong with Fortnite's identity, and why does it seem that these new modes are getting in the way? But before we can answer any of that, we have to answer the question, what is Fortnite's identity? When I was first scripting this video, I was having a hard time wrapping my brain around it at first. And that's the thing, I think a lot of people that claim that Fortnite's identity is gone, they can't answer the question as to what Fortnite's identity really is. What is that? When I first thought about this question, these are the things that came to my mind. Fortnite is a fun, goofy game that is consistently pushing boundaries and subverting our expectations in gaming. It's an experience we can enjoy on any platform. It is a game that has always given us an insane amount of content and variety across the different modes it's provided, and most importantly, Fortnite has never just been one thing. Remember, it started off as Save the World, but transformed into BR quickly, and since then it has consistently snowballed into the thing that we see today. So, if all this is true, how can we make the claim that Fortnite lost its identity. The combination of all these attributes I just mentioned aren't enough to sculpt the full picture of Fortnite's identity. The purpose of all of these things was to serve a specific function or aspect of the game. This is the real reason why Fortnite's identity feels awkward and skewed right now. It's because it lacks cohesiveness with what we fell in love with the game for initially. To put it simply, Fortnite's true identity is BR. Now, some people would argue that Fortnite's true identity is save the world, and in some cases, you'd be right. Back in Chapter 1, it was obvious that Battle Royale was taking assets from Save the World to make a new experience. The two were completely different games, but they were clearly linked in tone and feel, and this bled over into every aspect of Fortnite, creating one synergistic identity. However, Fortnite didn't become popular because of Save the World. It was the BR that made it the gaming juggernaut that it is today. This is why BR needs to be the core focus of the game, but also needs to share some of its tone and feel from Save the World. One mode should serve to feed the other. Also keep in mind, Fortnite's aesthetic overall used to feel more complete. It was more immersive. The entire platform had a clear vision between Save the World and Battle Royale. Even when things like Creative and Playground were introduced, they felt like logical, welcome additions to Fortnite. Everything Fortnite gave us felt right at home. From 3D backgrounds that matched the season's theme to the item shops and lockers and the weapon system of BR, there was a color coordination and an artistic style that flowed through everything. Not to mention all the other neat features that Epic would integrate over time. We had limited time modes that enhanced the current BR experience by providing variety that kept the game from feeling stale. It also gave us a new appreciation for the current BR island. Collabs were better integrated into BR, and the current Fortnite season overall without feeling overwhelming. We had big seasonal events to look forward to that felt communal, almost like a family tradition. Not to mention creative maps that matched that seasonal theme. Fortnite felt like every mode was working together to create one big experience, a solid identity that was warm yet mysterious. There always felt like there was something new to explore in Fortnite, but most importantly, it was set around BR and the tone it set for each season. The problem is after Fortnite Chapter 3, we started to slip away from the feeling that the BR was a priority. No live events, poor seasonal events, no LTMs. To hammer this point home, I want to talk about something that we got recently that would have been handled a lot different during the classic era of Fortnite. If the Avatar collab had have came out during the first 2 chapters of Fortnite, not only would we have had the mythics in the main BR, we would have had an LTM where we only used those mythics. They also wouldn't have replaced the themed mythics for the season, but instead been added in addition to the core loot pool. This is why collabs now feel like a cheap cash grab or a commercial inside of Fortnite. Instead of using them to enhance the BR or to put a new spin on it to make us enjoy the collab, it's just given to us with a couple of new skins and a few in-game items on top of another battle pass that we have to grind our way through mid-season. It feels very commercial because we aren't being given something unique that ties it in together. It feels like the emphasis is on buying the new skins rather than experiencing them in a way that could be done only in a game like Fortnite. Think back to the Marvel collabs or the John Wick collab. Those IPs were given their own game modes which doubled as LTMs. Yes, they got you hyped to purchase the collab, but you also had an all-new game mode which really felt like Epic was focused on making an experience just as much as they were looking to turn a profit. They paid respect to the IP and to the people that they were introducing it to that were eventually going to buy into it. And let me make this clear, I have no problems with Epic Games making money, nor do I have any problems with these Avatar mythics. Guys, I honestly think that these are probably the most fun mythics that we've had in the last 3 or 4 seasons of Fortnite. I even like them more than the seasonal mythics we got. The issue is they replaced the mythics that were designed to go with the theme of this season. Not to mention, I don't believe that these mythics are being highlighted as well as they could be. For as awesome as those mythics are, Avatar should have had its own LTM that was given to the community. So why is Epic making all these bad changes when they know the community doesn't like them? They must just want to completely ruin their game and they hate the community, right? First off, I don't think that Epic is always making decisions based on the foreknowledge that the community is not going to like something. I think that Epic tests certain things just to see how the community reacts. Contrary to popular belief, Epic does communicate with us quite regularly. The issue is that every time they do, they receive such backlash from the community that it's probably made them become less vocal over time. After you've harassed and doxed a few of my employees because an animation in a free video game was changed, I'd probably be a little cautious of what I told you all too. Ironically, the same people outraged are the same ones upset about the layoffs, saying Epic Games employees deserve respect and they have families. Meanwhile, we'll go out and dox or harass the remaining employees and developers over a couple of minor bad changes that in turn puts their families in danger. The problem is the community is far too entitled for a game that is not only free, but provides more updates than a AAA title that you have to pay money for. And that's one of the big points I want to emphasize here is that people keep forgetting that Fortnite is a free game. You could never spend a single penny and get the complete Fortnite experience. It's entirely up to you if you want to support their game by buying cosmetics that have no impact on gameplay outside of the warm feeling you get from playing as your favorite character. Also, Epic has showed us many times that they do care and listen to us by adjusting movement speed, being transparent about layouts and them operating at a loss, also with meeting us in the middle by increasing the cost of V-Bucks, but not to the same price they were originally. V-Bucks are still cheaper than they were 4 years ago, and they never had to reduce the cost of them to begin with. No one asked for that change. You know what people did ask a reduction in price for? Fortnite Festival and Rocket Racing cosmetics. And guess what? Epic gave us both of those. But hey, Big Bad Epic Games hates their community and wants their game to die. No, it's more like Epic Games is a business, and as such, they want their customers to be happy, which is why we get the changes we do. This also, however, doesn't mean that every change they make is a good one, which is why we're going through this identity crisis. This leads me to the second issue we brought up, which is Fortnite wanting to destroy their game. I see exactly what Epic is trying to do. It's not that Epic is trying to destroy Fortnite, but they're looking for it to evolve with a new vision they have for the game. Epic wants Fortnite to be more than just a BR. The BR will always exist, but they want people to experience everything Fortnite has to offer in the ultimate gaming ecosystem, hence, find it in Fortnite. This is why Fortnite has all these new modes and collabs, because they in many ways want to become the Disney of gaming. If there's something you love, we want you to be able to find it in Fortnite. This is why they keep pushing all the features in the game modes. It's like they want you to play everything all the time, and this is the problem with their new strategy. It's why the item shops feel cluttered. It's why the cosmetic rarity changed. It's why the UI looks bland, and it's why people feel like the identity has been stripped from Fortnite. Now, am I saying all these new modes shouldn't exist and that they're preventing BR from doing well? Not at all. But I don't think that Epic has found the balance between keeping BR the focus while promoting and integrating the other modes into its core identity. The new modes can exist while still getting amazing updates and returning to a more classic approach to Fortnite. Ultimately, what Epic needs to understand is that fighting in Fortnite can't take the place of BR. This is a really big topic and I have a lot of thoughts on it, which is why we're gonna cover this in the next video. That's right, you guys are getting a two-parter for the first time ever on this channel, maybe even a three-parter if this goes where I think it's going. So if you wanna see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because next time we're gonna be talking about how Find It in Fortnite failed.